Hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Today we're going to take a look at Logic Pro. Okay, so not a super in-depth tutorial. That would be impossible. Logic Pro is huge. But enough to get you going. First of all, I created this project, I don't know, a couple of hours ago. I'm just going to play it for you here, so you can hear the kind of cool stuff you can do pretty quickly. And then I'll take you through the whole thing and we can, have a mess. Put some headphones on, it sounds better. Okay, let's just switch the automation view off. Right, all right, so there you go. Literally didn't take too long to put together. There's a couple of things I want to show you. So to do that, this is how I'm gonna use Logic when I use it, Logic Pro, with this kind of view here going on and what's it. But it takes a little bit of getting your head around because you're learning a new DAW, So, and admittedly, this is very, very, very good. So what we're going to do, you'll see I've got a Synth Master 2 here, guitar, and I've frozen it. I've got Midi here from Piano Tech. I've changed the icons. I've added extra bits in here that you may not see. I've made this colorful. One of the most important, oh, and you'll see that I've frozen some tracks. Now, you can, marvelously, this was a bounced in place one. So I bounced that track. I bounced that MIDI down to audio. I'm going to show you that as well. So I'm going to show you sort of basic things to get you going. You can save CPU and stuff, although I don't think you'll have a lot of trouble. It's pretty good. If you choose an instrument that hasn't been frozen and it's just MIDI, you can just play it. I think the easiest thing to do, I think the most obvious thing to do would be just to create a new project. So we'll click on this little icon here. Don't forget that I'm using the mouse, so things may be a little bit clunky. You'll get this view anyway. You can hit this little plus. It will create a new project for you. You can decide whether you want it to be a live loops project. We'll look at that another day. Or a tracks project. We'll do this today. We'll open up tracks project. First thing you're going to be asked to do is create some sort of instrument, whether you want it to be drums, a pattern. Patterns are very cool. An audio, so say you wanted some guitar or vocals in here, or the MIDI. You'll see I used sample with last, but I'm going to choose, let me do this. I'm going to click on this little icon here, and you see where it says patch instrument. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to go to instruments here, and you'll see where it says synthesizer. I'm going to choose Alchemy. Okay, because Alchemy is I love Alchemy. And although this isn't the most complete version of Alchemy that you can get, let me just close the browser a moment. Browser's super cool. There's our sound, our initial sound from Alchemy. Now, if we open this, you'll see we have a little view of Alchemy. If we double tap it, we'll get a larger view of Alchemy. And if we move it up to a full screen, there's several ways to do that. We could just tap this and it'll open up full. And that's what I automated in the previous session. So when I was just playing around with automation. Right, okay, let's close this down. We want to find our patch. In fact, let me just go back here, take it down to this view. We can add MIDI effects beforehand and we can add audio effects afterwards. So whatever you like, a reverb. Logic has a load of really good ones. And then you've got all your audio units. What is really nice, right, is the ability to search, which means you could search for something like black hole or whatever your favorite is or what have you. Anyway, not important. I want to show you how you can find your presets in here, okay? Your patches. So if we open this up like this, you'll see default preset, and then it will open these. Now, you'll see there's not many here, right? There's only a few. And then you're thinking, oh my God, I've downloaded thousands. Right, this is very true. You don't need to be doing that, worrying about this preset thing here. This is not the way to do it. You want to find all your Alchemy preset or any instrument preset you want. Go to, first of all, sounds and settings, depending if you're looking for a loop, for a sample, for a plugin preset, or for audio patch. Audio patches are also very cool. I'll also get into them. Go to instrument patches here. Now, right, you will see that I've installed the full thing. It's only about 16 gig, if that. You'll see there are gazillions of them, right? Loads and loads. Look at this hardly moving. Look, I'm spinning down here. But these are not all Alchemy presets. Okay, I want to drill down and just find the Alchemy stuff. You can look here and stuff, and you can try and do it here. And this is quick search. This is genius. I love this about Logic Pro. This little button here, click on this, and this opens up all the filters, everything. So you've got all your instruments here, and you can scroll along over here, and you can see what instruments are included. You can see what effects are included. There may be more delays, you see, and different types of modular. Awesome stuff, right? Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You've got descriptors. You can search through sound packs here at the bottom, all these sound packs you've installed. Absolutely top. Let's just take that off. I'm going to choose Alchemy, and I'm going to leave it on everything, right? So done. Now, all these, if I change this now, all these patches, let me just close this down. All these patches now are Alchemy, and if I start to scroll up now, look at the little track bar at the side. These are everything that's in Alchemy. There's tons of it. So we could go, well, what's this wobbly pal drop? And we can then use our trackpad. What's this, cymbal swell? Or you can now use them, you can like drill in now with the, so you could go, well, what's this? Oh, maybe soundscapes. Maybe what's this? What? Brilliant. Let's find the sound and then we can move on, right? So let's just go back to, let's just take soundscapes off a minute. Let's just find something that's going to be, oh, what's this? Bell string pad. Okay, that's fine. I like that. Now, I am going to show you the inspector. The inspector, this is like instrument dependent, right? So whatever instrument you're on, you'll get an inspector. This little eye icon, super important. The inspector is for loads of stuff. If you're looking for fade-ins and fade-outs with your audio tracks, you're going to find it in the inspector. Let's first of all change the color, and we'll just change it to a nice red color. And you can choose different brightnesses, of course, but leave it on that. There it is. Now, you can also, if you long hold here, you'll get this thing that says region default. I don't even think you need to long hold here. No, just tap it. Region defaults. This is where you set up your quantization. Now, I've been using Smart Quantize, and I'm going to quantize this too. Let's see. I'm going to quantize it just to 16 notes as per normal. So when I record, it's going to use these quantize settings. Okay. But the inspector is totally awesome. I mean, you can show more here if you want to as well. You see, you can transpose it. You can freeze mode. No transpose velocity. All this cool stuff that you can do with these. And then you also have your region default again, which shows you your quantized settings. Hello.
Hello.
All right. Okay. So this one here, let me just say, this one here opens up a channel strip independent of the mixer for the instrument you're using. So if we close down the actual browser a sec, and you'll see it's reflected there in the actual, the little version you get. Now I'll show you a couple of tricks here as well, okay? So, is it with this? I'm going to say, no, it's all right. You can move that out of the way as well anytime you like. Now, this brings the instrument up. This closes it. This brings the mixer view up. You can have the instrument there as well. And you can also have the editor there as well. Okay. Then things do get a little bit cluttered, but you can, of course, I don't know if you can actually. Can you move this stuff around? Yeah, you can. All right. I'm going to turn this off now and this one off. I want to show you some things here as well. You might have noticed, let's switch this off. You might have noticed on mine, I had the freeze function. Well, the cool thing to do here is you go here, okay, and you show customize track header. And then you can have track on, and you don't need that really because you can use mute and solo. You can switch solo off and just have mute and record. But you can have the freeze function enabled. Now, what freeze does, it's different than bounce. What freeze will do it will basically freeze the track, but it will leave the MIDI there so you can see. You just won't be able to add effects or do anything like automation and things like that, but it will save on CPU. You can also have input monitoring, right? Let's move this. You can have input monitoring on or off. All right. You can choose track colors there. Have this on because it looks nice. And then you can have show volume. Now, if you have this switched off, that will, right. It's obvious, right? You at the moment, you've got this show volume. It means you can make adjustments with this. But if you wanted to save some, like, for instance, if we close that out now, this is all looking quite large, isn't it? It's taken up a lot of space. You can collapse it to there like that, or you can expand it again to there. But it's starting to take up a lot of space. You do have the option, like I said here, if you go to customize track header, you do have the option to not show volume. And then if you wanted to make any adjustments to the volume via the track, you can always just hit this button. And you've got access there. That's nice if you want to save some space. And if you had this kind of open, if you had another track, I'll show you in a bit, it'll just move down to that. The focus will be on the next track. Okay, now let's just go to our, we go to our inspector again. And this time we shall go to icon. Now, this is a synth. It selected this icon for us, but you can change the icon. You can change it to any of these. And these are for keyboards. You have drum icons, you see, keyboard icons. We could go, well, it's a synth sound. I'm going to use this nice synthy icon for my instrument there. This is up to you. It's just a bit of color, you know. Lovely. Then we can go back into here and we can go like, well, I don't want that sound. Maybe I want some sort of, let's see, polyphonic sound. What's this? Oh, you can also preview it. Let's scroll up. I'm in this. That's pretty cool. So just drag it up and change the sound. And now you play a key on your keyboard and you've got your... Now you can also choose one of the many... Let's just close the browser a sec. Choose one of the many playing surfaces to play your sound. And if you move this up out of the way, you'll get more keys. Right, okay, so... I think you get even more if you've got a 12.9. But there you go, right? So you can choose to scale down here, but you can play it with your... But you have other playing surfaces as well. What do we choose here? You can have it on drum pads. Not that you would, but you've got fretboard as well. Chord strips. Maybe if this was polyphonic, you'd hear the chords. And then you've got guitar strips as well, which is a kind of a strum thing. And change that back to keyboard. Okay, cool beans. Right. But we can close that for now because I don't need it, because I'm using my MIDI keyboard. Now, let's quickly record something and then we'll add another track, all right? So I'm just going to record this as some sort of sequence. Let's lower the volume a little tiny bit, shall we? So we could tap this and... Cool bananas. What's this here? Oh, and that just tells you audio routing, further options, freezing, group, exact, all that kind of cool stuff. Now, anytime we want to start, we're on 120 BPM at the minute, but you can change that. You can also change the signature. If you're using loops and stuff, Apple Logic Pro will, you know, sort out the key for you. It'll just transpose everything to suit. First of all, you can engage loop here. Sorry, I'm getting ahead. You can engage a loop here. And you'll see it'll highlight this. This is how you loop regions. And what's cool, what I love about this is one of the things I love about Nano Studio is if I hold this, I can move this loop region to another place. I don't have to adjust the loop. I can switch loop off. I can just start to record. So if I go, right, I'm going to make sure my quantize is switched on for this. I did think I switched it on, but I'll just make sure. Smart quantize, 16th notes. Yep, that's good. I'm going to go back here now and I am going to hit this. Now, this will give me a 4-bar counting. If I long hold this, I can choose how many bars it takes to count in. 2, 3, or 4, and then subdivisions of a bar. Okay, so I'm going to leave it on 1 bar because it's normal for now. I'm not, if I was recording audio, probably more bars would be good, but I'm not. So I'm just going to press record. Let go. Now look, I'm going to stop this and watch what happens. It sorted out for me. Don't need to worry, it's a done deal. So I don't need to be going like kind of making adjustments to the MIDI region and stuff. And now when I play it back, I can switch this. When I play it back, I can have my metronome on. Now, if I switch loop on, it will loop, obviously. So look, my icon never changed. I wonder why. Let's fix that, shall we? Let's go back to our inspector. Let's look at our icon. Let's choose our synth. Come out, and there it is. Yeah, I've got it back now. Cool beans. And again, you can go in and change the color to whatever you like. Okay, done that. So the inspector is super important for stuff that you want to do to the track. And it makes more sense when you start to use it. Now, copying and pasting. First of all, we've got this trim function here. This is super simple. It's dead obvious here. You move it along and you can shorten it and stuff like that. Are you going, darling?
I am.
Where are you going?
I'm going shopping.
Oh, shopping, yeah.
All right.
All right. Love you.
Love you too. Be good.
Okay, so that's trim. You can trim it. If you extend the MIDI region with trim, it's not going to extend the MIDI. To do that, you just have this super cool loop. And now when you select it, you'll see a little loop handle, and we can loop that out to as many bars as we like. I've looped it a little bit farther, so just drag it back in. And now this will, if I extend my looping region, I'm not going to play it all, but you know what I mean. I'll go to here. It's not going to pick up the MIDI yet till it comes back around, but so now that's going to loop over those 2 bars. You also have what you had in GarageBand. You have split. You move this wherever you like, over to a part of this. Now I'm not sure why. There we go. You've got to select it. You can then split this anywhere you wish. It doesn't even matter where your playhead is. So say, for instance, we wanted to split this here and make a change to this here. That's what we do. We just go split. And now you've got 2 of these split regions that you can play with independently. Or we could just go undo at the top here, and it brings it back to our 1 region. Right. Okay, so we've recorded something. How you want to change the name, right? This is a lot of cool stuff you can do. You tap and tap again. So let me get it back out of this. Oh God. Right. If you double tap it, you can split it here, split by playhead, split by locators. This is where you can do bounce and join track, right? So this is a little bit. Oh, we can also choose to cycle it. This is just looping basically. So you can go into edit, which will take you into the edit mode for this as well. Okay, we can close this. What else can we do here? It's very good. Select all following same. So you again take some. You can do comping. I'm not going to get into that now. You can rename and stuff there as well. So if we wanted to rename the actual track, we could call it, say, I don't know, let's call this, you can do it here as well at the top, but let's call this Alchemy. I'll just call it Alchemy. Well, I'll do it in capital A, it will freak me out. Oop, no. Alchemy 1. Okay, done. Entered that. And now this is called Alchemy 1. Okay, so let's scroll along so we can see. All right, cool beans. And then you can stretch. So if you want to stretch audio or MIDI, you can. And the other cool thing here is these. If you use this one, it will let you select multiples, right? So if you had a load of clips all over the place, you could select them all. And then you could switch that off. This one, let me just quickly explain. If I move this now, look, it's literally just going to move it. Okay, it's going to move it to wherever you want. It's not going to copy, it's not going to duplicate it, it's just going to move it. If I have this switched on here, I can then take the whole thing and duplicate it again. Okay, so let's just close my inspector a sec. Now, pinching, zooming, 2 fingers, and also up and down to make it bigger, like that. Basic stuff. If you do horizontal, kind of diagonal, you can do it both ways, sort of thing. We don't need to worry about that. Now we've got 4 bars of this. Okay, so we've got a little thing. And it's basically just going to be the same thing. All right, so let's add something else, shall we? Let's go with the plus here. And let's add a... Drummers are real obvious. They're like they are inside of GarageBand, but a bit more... There's more detail. Let's just make a drummer track. If you do this, it will create... I was using this Latin percussion last, so it's going to create this Latin percussion track for me. So... But we don't need to use that. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I am going to... let's see. There's another cool thing I want to show you about copy and pasting. Yeah, if I double tap, come on. If that's me moving it around, we can go copy. And I'm going to put my playhead here and paste a playhead, right? So if I pasted the original position, it pastes it halfway through this one. So you can create a new MIDI region, but I'm just going to paste this at playhead. I'm going to show you about create MIDI regions as well. So we've got this. We can close that again. Let's go into this one here. So let's hit edit, and that opens up our drummer for us. You'll see at the moment, these are both exactly the same, right? No controls are changing, right? So on this one, let's make it less complex. Sorry, oh God, I made the wrong one. Choose this one. You might see the wave changing, especially if I expand this a little bit for you. I'm going to make this less complex and maybe a bit less intense. Take out a couple of these things, and then I'm going to play it. This is Audition, so you don't play over your track. Now I'm going to choose this one, and you will see certain things will change because we made adjustments. Let's make this smaller so you can see. So this one is less intense. This one is going to be more intense. I'm going to put in some more bits and pieces for this, and let's audition this one. Awesome stuff. We'll jump back to this. Okay, and then at this point here, let's just close the editor there for the drummer, and let's see how that sounds as it changes. See, it's stepped up the pattern. All right. This is okay. So this is another cool thing I wanted to show you when you've got all of them here. You can select all of these. So at the moment, we'll just go off this one a second and we'll highlight this and we'll just select all of them, and we can switch this off. We can choose this, and now we can just move them all over there. And now we've got another section duplicated, and we can start to build our track here. So obviously you see how this works. So we can add another instrument. There are tons of ways you can put drums in here. They've got the fantastic pattern sequences. They are really really great, but I think it's for a tutorial on its own. Really, I think it would make more sense. I will just now add another instrument because I want to briefly touch on automation like I did. So I will add another alchemy. Now we've got our loop on for this second section, so that's fine. We're just going to hit plus here, and it's already on alchemy, so I'll just create a new alchemy track. Tap on here. I'll close the inspector for a moment. I'll tap on here, and there it is. And there's the thing. So I think, yes, open our inspector again, because we want to be looking for instrument patches, and it's already chosen on here. So I'm going to find some sort of It is possible to work very fast with Logic Pro. It is especially if you know. Let's turn that off a sec. Especially if you know what you want to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to record some of this gentle sine bells in. And I just want to show you, you can, if you want, just double tap on that, and you can create a pattern region, a drummer region, or a MIDI region. If you create a MIDI region like this, you don't really need to do this if there's nothing there. Let's just switch this off because I'm just duplicating stuff. Let's just expand this a sec. I'll just delete that. It's possible just to extend this MIDI region as far as you like, but you don't need to do, if there's nothing in it. Some people like to do it like this because creating a MIDI region will let you select it and then go into the editor, and you can then add in your notes by choosing the pencil tool. Okay, and then there's a brush tool, but if we choose pencil, we tap on again, and it's perfectly resizable. You can do whatever you like with it. It's very fluid, it's very fast. This is your automation view, but I'm going to show you that somewhere else. So I'm going to get out the editor, and I'm going to also delete this as well because I don't really want to. And I'm just going to quickly have it doesn't really matter, I'm just going to have a mess around. So just let me let me just close this up a bit as well, just to find cool beans. Right, so I'm going to record this. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to leave it on a 1/4 count in, 1 bar count in. Sorry, I'm going to press record and just record these bits in. See, it just creates the region for you, and it's perfect. And we can check our inspector for that track and see what we were doing. Oh no, there we go, we're already on regions, so cool beans, we were quantized, brilliant, smart quantized. I love smart quantized. Now, we want to do something like this. Let that loop. I want it to do something like this. Do you know what I mean? Right, so first of all, I'm going to make this a little bit louder. Several ways we could do this, right? We could add a compressor here. Okay, so let's do that. Let's just add we'll add a stock Logic compressor. You get these little tiles for everything. To expand the tiles, just double tap. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. I like the Studio FET. Okay, so I'm going to just play the track. I'm going to bypass it. Perfect. I'm not even going, I'm just going to turn the makeup gain down a little bit. Epic. To close an instrument, by the way, double tap on it to open it. You just hit this little button here, this back and it drop it down. And then to exit this view, of course, you can just either drag this down like that out the way, or just close it out. But I needed to do my automation, so I'll be leaving it in for a sec. Right, so let's go back to the beginning. So this is how you do it. You can also do stuff like this in the mixer. If we open the mixer up, right, here's the mixer. Let's close this one here. Let's expand the mixer here, full page. And if we scroll down, you'll see our gentle sine bells there, which is our one we've just added our compressor to. Now, you'll also see your markers there for the tracks that have been used. We're only using 3, and then we've got a stereo out and a master. Let's use this little plus button here. This will allow us to add effects in. You'll see the difference is there's no plus buttons. This is for mixing, right? So this is where you will mix your stuff with your mixer. And this is where you can see what's going on with your track. And you've also got this button here, which shows everything as well. This is where you can select what's going on, by the way. So you can go, right, well, I don't want to see audio effects. Switch them off. And if you're this is important, because if you're mixing and you're happy with all your effects and you're literally just mixing, you don't need to see all this stuff. All you really want to see is the mixer, you know, otherwise it's going to get really cluttered. Let's add the audio effects back in. Let's close that down. What's this one do? I haven't looked at this one. This shows software is auxiliary. All right, cool. Shows you what you need. Right, you've got all sorts of other metering and stuff you can add as well. If you go to this plus button, this allows you to then add in stuff. So we could go here and add in another effect. So I don't know. I'm not going to add anything else. Really a flanger. See what happens, right? Let's just play it now. Let's solo it. If we want to look at the flanger, we can show details. We'll leave it in, it sounds nice. If you want to reorder the effects, you use this and just change it like that, because the comp would be better. So reordering effects is basically just like that. Just drag it up and down. Okay, so again, we can just go back to this. We don't need to see anything. In fact, we can close our mixer here. And if we open it up again, it will open it up full screen for you. So you can then set that like that. All right, now automation. We're going to need to expand this now. Let's do this. So now we've got this button here, this here. This is your automation view. Let's open it like this. Now, I am going to just open up Alchemy here. In fact, I think I can move around if there's more stuff there, so that's good. Let me open this up again. Now you'll see it says at the moment, it says flanger rate. This is because we're on a flanger. We want to be on Alchemy's XY. So Alchemy, perform, transform X. And you see it changes to Y. But if we were on the flanger, we'd be automating the flanger. You can jump backwards and forwards. It doesn't matter. Now, you don't need to be pressing record or arm record or anything like that for doing automation like this. You can draw your automation in as well. But to be honest with you, it's very rare. It's very rare I automate stuff. Sometimes, but not very often. But this is really nice. So, okay, so that's soloed. We can take that off. We can hear them all now. And you can see what's available for automation inside of these as well. You see? Because this is an Alchemy track as well. This is a drummer. So we could say, well, what could we automate here? Oh, look, see, we've got all sorts of stuff. So very cool. Want to go into where it says read. We tap on this, and use either touch or latch. It's up to you. I'm going to use latch because I'm going to just switch that to latch. Now, as soon as I start to play, I can start to automate. So let's see what happens, and you'll see it here, right? So let's get back to our beginning here. Very cool, eh? Now, if this is on latch and I let go, it's going to stay where it is. So we've automated that now. But I'm guessing if you're on touch, it will just bounce back. I'm not sure, I haven't tried, but you know, something you can try. Okay, finish with my automation. I can go back to my normal view. All the automation's still there. Everything's a done deal. Okay. So you've already just seen how to, let's do this. Let's select. Is there a way to, I don't know if there's a way to kind of, let's see what happens. I've got this selected on now. If I just kind of run over all of them, might be difficult if you're trying to select tons of stuff. I prefer the Nano Studio version of this where I just hold outside and I can select. Oh, hey, hang on a minute. Awesome, right. Yes, you can. You can see a very slight line. Oh, that's brilliant, right? That's perfect, right? So, but not if I start outside, so I have to start inside, do I? Epic stuff. And then I select this. I can, again, duplicate. Do you want to copy the automation? Too true, son. Thank you very much. Awesome. Awesome. Should we change this as well? No, you know how to do that, don't you? Let's add one more. Oh gosh, 40 minutes. Let's add one more before I go, because there are going to be, I'm going to do lots of these, okay? And because I just wanted to give you a basic idea. So a lot of my videos for this will be like my video. A lot of my videos, if I use Logic, will be demoing other synths. I'll show you quickly. You can load AUV3s. I'll show you how to do that. Let's do a little plus here to find another instrument. Twang. I'll show you patterns in another video, because it really is, it's worth doing the patterns on their own, you know. But let's do this. Let's go click down here. Let's go this here and go to instruments. And then here we have, see, we have audio units, we have generators, instruments. Where are we? Let's just see. Because some of these need updating, right, guys? So if anything goes a bit weird, right, just let's see. I'm going to load in Synth Master 2 here. So it's done that. So I'll just go create. And it should be wherever it's created it here, instrument 4. So there it is. Now, if let's just close this. If I open my instrument now, there's Synth Master. And the tiles do give you some controls, some basic controls. And then we can double tap and open Synth Master. Let me make it a little bit bigger. And I go to browse here and choose I'll just choose this organ. Okay, we can go back here. Close this here. Let's reset that to there, so we could have, say, our organ come in here. And to save your colors, right, go again here to your inspector. Let's go back here. Oh, no, sorry. We want our inspector. We're going to change the color of this one because I want to keep colors changing. So that's nice. I'll just choose this. Cool beans. And what we'll do is go in again here. And we'll close that so it's out of the way. Just add an audio effect. And we could add, say, let's see. We've got Logic Pro. We've got tons of cool effects. In fact, let's show you a Logic Pro reverb. So you know you can load your AUV3s the same, but we've got Chroma Verb here. Let's double tap on this. Some presets, maybe some spaces. Nothing in spaces. What's in effects? Nice. But don't forget also, we can open up our, so if this was, we've got panning there as well. Awesome stuff. Let's close our browser down. And on you go. You can add in things. You can also use MIDI effects as well. They've got a stack of their own arpeggiators things, and you've got your audio unit MIDI effects as well. I will point out quickly that if you load in something like a MIDI effect, let's put the arpeggiator in. Let's open it up and change the. If you wanted to use that, right, if you long hold and then hit record MIDI to track, is that how you record your MIDI effects data to a track? Anyway, and I tried that earlier. It works fine. So I'm going to switch the ARP off because I don't want to use it. Also, as well, say, for instance, you're in this track and you're like, oh, I want to change this. If you tap this, you can delete Synth Master, Chroma Verb, delete the arpeggiator, and then you can add another one. And then we can go back to viewing them as well. So the tiles are absolutely superb. They're such a good idea. Okay, so we've set our track up here. I just need to play along with it, really. I can't even remember what key. I think it was C and E. So hang on a minute. Still too loud, that. Okay. Okay, and let's rename that as well, shall we? So let's go into our inspector. You'll see it says instrument 4 there. Let's just go to there. I'm going to, just let me do it with my finger. There's flipping heck. God, I don't know. There's another way to do this, hit rename as well. So I'll just call it Synth Master. Synth Master 2. I enter. And that's done, and it's changed it here, and it also changes it in the inspector as well. The inspector's superb. You need to spend lots and lots of time in the inspector. So let's record a little bit of that. So let's count in. awesome. And that sounds like an organ to me. So let's see. Let's go into our inspector. Keyboards. We can use one of these kind of cool ones, or one of these. Awesome stuff. Great. There you go. So there was first look for me for Logic. There are so many things you can do. You can duplicate the track as well, or duplicate the instrument, which is very nice. Or we can, of course, delete the instrument. And off that, because we're back onto this one. It has loads of really cool synths. Sculpture, I'll have to do a separate video on Sculpture. Is amazing. It's physical modeling synth that's built into Logic. Didn't have time to show you that today because really just wanted to get you kind of going if you wanted to, start making some music, which is the whole point. I really must show you the other. There's so much cool stuff in here, guys. I can't tell you. It really is. It really is. I'm not gonna mention anything about whether I think it's a great idea. So I don't like subscriptions. I think for something like this, it's a bit of a no-brainer, really. Will I be using Logic totally all the time? No, of course not, because I like AUM and Cubases. So I like a Nano Studio and Gadget. I like to swap between loads of them, but it certainly will feature, especially in the next few weeks, because I want to cover some certain things. And I found that using it over the last couple of days, as soon as we go like this, it will automatically save the project for us. And then we can just choose if we want to rename it. Let's call this Premiere, because it's for the Premiere. Guys, if you're watching still, brilliant, thank you. Please strike the like, subscribe to the channel, consider becoming a patron, all that cool stuff. Let's hit enter, and Premiere is now saved in iCloud Drive. I did this one. Oh, let me play you this one. So I played test 2 earlier, and I'm going to open test project, this one. And this is when I was messing around. I was messing around with I can't remember the name of it now. It's this kind of beat create. It's this, like, let me have a look, see if I can find it. Let me choose. It's either this one. Let me open up what was going on here. Yeah, Beat Breaker. This is off its cake. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's a mad stutter control thing. It's awesome. Right, so I'm going to play you this while you say ta-ra to each other. It doesn't take long. I did. Nambu, that's lovely. Oh, and Nambu is one of the ones I froze. Freezing is really simple, and bouncing in place. It's lovely to be. You can join these clips together as well. If you say, for instance, with this time warp synth. Let me see if I can quickly remember how to do it. I select both of them, I think, and once they're both selected, I can tap on one. Where it says just join, no continuous reason created of a new file. Don't know what it'll do. There we go. Created a new file for me. Great. Awesome. And there are other ways to do it. And then, of course, all you need to do to bounce in place is literally this. I don't know. This is not sure what it is. Let me have a look. Probably Alchemy. Right, that's Alchemy. Nice sound. We can bounce this as well. And when I bounced this, what happened earlier was it left Alchemy in place. So I'm going to quickly show you that as well. So let's just double tap on this. Let's go where it says bounce and join. I'm going to go bounce in place. Now watch, you get loads of options. You want to include the effects plugins in a bounce, of course. Include a tail in the file, yes. Include audio tail in region, which means it will extend this to incorporate the audio tail so you can see exactly where you're going. Include volume pan automation. Well, of course, if you've done that, yes, you could put it in, but you may want to put that in later, right? All the automation stuff. You might want to just automate I would suggest leaving the normalize off. You can have it on, of course, but I'd rather control the volume later of the audio file. So let's just go back, and it'll come up, look, with this bip, which is bounce in place. Who's going to bounce this in place? It will bounce the regions. There you go. And now we've got our synth as a thing, and we've still got our alchemy here, which we could then go in and let's see. Let me just go to my inspector here. Maybe change. I'm going to quickly show you again about finding all of them. So I'm just going to choose alchemy and done, and maybe change the sound. Okay, done. So now we've got another alchemy again ready to go. We froze the one. Okay, awesome stuff. And you'll notice as well that I haven't got freeze or anything on here neither. Now, oh, quick. Look at this, right? 1, and then it goes to 25, and then 47, 48, 49. What? I've got 50. I've got 54 tracks running here because, and this is important. These 2 tracks here, these are my big creator tracks. So if I highlight this and look at the editor, you'll see this is the big grid, big creator thing. I can't remember what it's called, but you know what I mean? And this contains all these different tracks, right? But in the mixer, I'll just close this up. In the mixer, these tracks are also represented. If we open this, you see? They're all represented there as well. Okay, and that's why you'll see sometimes you've got many tracks. And you'll see this one will go all the way up to there. And then you can close it back down again. And then get your tracks back. But you can, it's reflected in the mixer as well. So you're never going to get lost. You know what I mean? If we open this full screen, you can see that you have 1 and 2. This is your overall mix for those 2 drum kits. And then you've got your upper ones which come after the drum kit channels, but it's just because you've got control over each drum kit channel. You know, you can add an effect to just one channel, it's doing one hit sort of thing. So it's very deep and very powerful. Let's go back to just mixer view here. Okay, so awesome stuff. I'll go back. Oh no, don't want to go back there. I'll just close the mixer out. And guys, thanks so much for watching. I know it's been a while. I'll just make sure I drop some audio bits and pieces in as well, just for fun. But I'll just make sure we can see it all. And bless you all. I will see you all later. Ta-da. Awesome stuff, Logic Pro.